Today we're going to learn a new pattern. We're going to factor cubes. You did not learn this in Algebra 1, so this is completely new. We've done a lot with squares, like we had 2 squared was 4, and 3 squared was 9, but now we're working with cubes. And it's important that we recognize these perfect cubes, just like we recognize a perfect square. So we're going to write them all out to begin with. So to put these in your calculator, 1 cubed, you're going to hit the 1 button, and then the caret button, and then the 3. Or in your calculator you might hit this button, and then the 3. Regardless of what you need to hit, 1 cubed should come out to be 1, 2 cubed 8, 3 cubed 27. Alright, now I want you to pause the video, and using your calculator, I want you to find out what 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 cubed is. Okay, did you get all the numbers correctly? Hopefully you're able to put those in your calculator. Now, in these factoring problems, I'm going to ask you to take the cube root of a number. But if I ask you for the cube root of, let's say, 343, your answer is going to be 7. If I ask for the cube root of 64, your answer is going to be 4, because it's on your list, so you can figure out what these perfect cubes are. So we don't need to worry about putting cube roots in your calculator. All right, now, we have 2 different patterns. This pattern works for the sum and the difference. So when you add and subtract, except I realize there's a typo here. This sum should be plus, this should be plus, this should be minus. I goofed, so make those corrections on your paper right now. Alright, here's the pattern. Even though it looks like there's 2 different patterns, if you follow the same process each time, you don't really need to memorize 2 different patterns. Okay, so once you see that you have a binomial, you have a minus sign, and you can take the cube root of everything. I know I can take the cube root of 8 because it's right here on my list of perfect cubes. Alright, so I'm going to make my first parentheses. The cube root of x cubed is x, and I know I can take the cube root because this time I'm dividing the exponent by 3. Okay, the first sign matches what you have in the original problem. The cube root of 8 is 2. Then you're going to make a new parentheses. Then whatever this first term is over here, this x, you're going to take it and square it. When you square x, you get x squared. Then you're going to change the sign. So it was minus, now it's plus. Now you're going to multiply the 2 things together. X times 2 would be 2x. The last sign, always plus, no matter what. Then you're going to take 2 and square it, and then you get 4. There's the pattern. Alright, let's try this again. Make a new parentheses. The binomial, there's a plus sign, that doesn't matter. You can take the cube root of both of them. Make your first parentheses. The cube root of y is y. The cube root of 27, oh, if I look on my list, it's right over here with the 3, so I know that's the one it is. So plus 3, because these signs always match. Then make a new parentheses. Whatever this first term is, this y, I'm going to square it. So I get y squared. Then I'm going to change my sign so it's the opposite of my original one. Then I'm going to multiply the 2 things together, and I get 3y. The last sign is always plus, and then I square the 3, and I get 9. Okay, let's try this again. It's a binomial. I can take the cube root of everything, and I know that because if I look on my list, oh, there's 125 right down here. Okay. The cube root of a cubed is a. This first sign is always the same. The cube root of 125 is 5. So we're just taking cube roots. Now we're going to deal with squares. Okay, take the first term, that's a, and square it, which gives you a squared. Change the sign. It's minus. Multiply the 2 things together. That gives you 5a. And the last sign is always plus. Square the last number, and you get 25. Alright, let's do that again. Look, 216. It's right here on the list, so I know I can take the cube root of it. The cube root of x cubed is x. The first sign always matches, it's a minus. The cube root of 216 we just saw was a 6. I want to square the first term, and we get x squared. Change the sign so it's the opposite, it becomes plus. Multiply the 2 things together. The last sign is always plus, and you're going to square this last number. 6 squared is 36. Okay, this is still the same thing, But now there's two numbers. Check. Are 8 and 343 on the list? They sure are. 8's with the 2 and 343 is with the 7. Alright, so the cube root of 2x cubed, of 8x cubed is 2x. This sign stays the same. Cube root of 343 is 7. Now I have to square 2x. Well, I square 2x, 2 squared is 4, so I get 4x squared. Change the sign, now it's a plus. Multiply the two things together. 2x times 7 is 14x. The last sign is always a plus. Now I'm going to square the last one. 7 squared is 49. And we're done. Okay, try it again. The cube root of 27y cubed. Well, let's look. 27 is right there with the 3. 512 is right there with the 8. Both on our list. Perfect. The cube root of 27y cubed is 3y. First sign is always a plus. The cube root of 512 was 8. Okay. Square the first term. 3y squared is 9y squared. Change the sign. It's the opposite of the first one. Then multiply the two things together. 3y times 8 would be 24y. Last sign is always a plus. Square the 8 and you get 64. Okay, now if you look at this next list, alright, 7 and 8, none of those numbers are on your list. However, you have to remember, we still have to take out a greatest common factor. So in this one, greatest common factor is 2, and we have x cubed plus 8. Oh, good news, 8 is on our list. GCF gets a free ride. Cube root of x squared is x. The sign is the same. Cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, square the x, get x squared. Change your sign to minus. Multiply the two things together and you get 2x. The last sign is plus. Square the 2 and you get 4. Okay, number 8. To take out a greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is 3. And now I've got a cubed minus 27. I'm ready to rock and roll because those things are all on my list. The GCF gets carried straight down. Cube root of a cubed is a. Minus sign goes straight down. Cube root of 27 is 3. Square the a, get a squared. Change the sign. Multiply the two things together and get 3x. The last sign is always plus. Square the 3 and you get 9. Okay, just a couple more. 125 and 27. Definitely both on the list. Okay, the cube root of 125x cubed is 5x. Carry the sign straight down minus. The cube root of 27y cubed is 3y. Okay, square the first term. You square 5x and you get 25x squared. Change the sign. It was minus, now it's a plus. Multiply these two things together. 5x times 3y would give you 15xy. Last sign is always a plus. Square 3y and you get 9y squared. Last one, 216 and 1. Well, 216's there, right, with the 6, and 1's there with the 1. Perfect. Okay, the cube root of 216a cubed is 6a. Carry the sign down. Plus the cube root of 1, 1. That's the easiest one. 6a squared would be 36a squared. Change the sign. Multiply the two things together. The last one is 1. Okay, now you can pick up your homework from the sub and work on it for the next class. See you next class.